And hello, we are live today. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Hair Debate Show. We are live this Monday evening. The weather has been absolutely beautiful here for the last couple of days, even though it is cold. But having the sun out does wonders. And so hopefully your weekend was great. Mine was. And so we are in our new series, and we are going to be discussing hair types and hair patterns. Okay. And this is a huge, huge subject matter when it comes to the natural hair community. Let me say that. And so, yes, 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 we are here live on the hair debate, here live discussing hair types and hair patterns. My name is Morello Kane. I am the brand ambassador of the Hair Debate. Also, too, hello, thank you for joining with me. Also, too, author of Seven Love Languages of Hair. When it comes to this industry, oh my God, I have been servicing clients for over 20 years. And so we're not going to get to the exact number of 20 years, but when it comes to hair care, when it comes to knowing what it takes for the hair to respond, for hair growth, I am that one. I am that one. And so again, my name is Morello Kane. I absolutely love what I do and coming here and connecting with you on the topics that matter. Okay, again, when it comes to hair topics and hair patterns. Okay, so now we are I'm going to answer some of the questions that I have here that I'm like, no, 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 that is not true when it comes to the natural hair, when it comes to hair types and hair patterns. And so we will be discussing that today. But let me just share a story with you on a client that shared this with me. And because, with hair, natural hair trending right now, it is, for whatever reason, whether you want to be more healthier, inside and outside, so that also too includes your hair, you make this transition. But will everybody be for you with this transition? So one of my clients who's, their parents is from the Caribbean, but she was born here, and of course born here in the 80s, 90s, rocking, having a relaxer, it was just something that you had. Okay, so it was no education behind managing natural hair. So it was just like, okay, no, at the age of what, 3 or 4, your parents were just ready to place a relaxer on your hair. So she was, so she had a relaxer, and she started having scalp issues, flaky, dry, split ends, damaged hair. And that comes from just mismanaging of the relaxing process. It's not so much that the relaxer does this, the chemical itself, but if you're not applying it properly, then these are the results that you get. Okay. And so through application, and possibly she was sensitive to the chemicals that was in it, but years on top of years, she was tired of feeling like her head was on fire for 2 weeks. And you guys can relate to that, who, ones of us who actually wore that relaxer. Okay, so because natural hair was trending, she became inspired. So she decided to do the big chop. Okay, did the big chop, loved her transition, applied her makeup, just embracing her new identity. Okay, she was, no more burning scalps, no more sores on her scalps, and feeling like her head was on fire for weeks. Okay, so she gets home all excited about her new transition, for her father to say, baby girl, are you going through a midlife crisis? Okay, all right. And then her mother actually said to her, what made you do that? Okay, what's his name and who hurt you? Okay, because I'm looking for him now. If this person has, if you're going through something and it has taken you to the depths of cutting all your hair off, But for her, she was excited about her new look. She was embracing this transition. For her family to say, okay, what are you going through? No, we don't like it. And so that is one of the things that, when you walk into embracing this new natural look, everyone is not going to be for it. Everyone, they're used to you with a certain look. And now that you're walking in this new identity, they could be intimidated, by the new identity that you have. Could be friends, sisters, cousins, aunts, and so not everybody is going to be for you. And so, but do stay true to your true identity and who you are, and be confident in walking that thing out. So we are going to debunk some of the illusions that people have when it comes to hair types and hair patterns. Okay, so some of the questions that I have here, I am actually going to share those with you. And if you do have, let me just put my comments up here, so that way if you have any questions, I see those here and I can address those with you. Questions that you may have even pertaining to your own regimen of hair care with your natural hair, and you have questions on, what to do in this case. So this is what I'm actually dealing with my hair. You can place those questions and we could discuss it. We could talk about it. So now, one of the questions that I have here, and these are questions that, us as professionals that we hear on a regular basis. Okay. And so depending upon who you may follow on social media and the answers that you get may not be correct. Okay. Some of your friends that are veterans in this natural world and this thing that they're doing, okay, they may not be advising you correctly. So let's discuss it here. So one of the questions is, why is maintaining natural hair hard work? Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, natural hair, maintaining your natural hair is not necessarily hard work. Now, what you have to do is put in the work and having it balanced. Okay, so that balance is moisture and strength. Okay, so once you have that there and it's consistent at that time, it is not hard to manage. But now what is hard and what can be frustrating is getting it to that point. Okay, because understanding that hair repairs itself from the inside out. So once you start applying the leave-in conditioners, the butters, the proteins, once you start applying that in, you have to allow time for it to get into the hair strand and start repairing itself. And that takes time. Time that a lot of us are, we get frustrated. We are impatient. And so this process is definitely going to teach you patience. All right. And so it's not that natural hair is hard to maintain, it's getting it to that point where it's balanced. That's the part that takes a little time, and it definitely takes work. Okay. So why is 4C hair the hardest hair to style and grow, in natural hair? So let's talk about that 4C hair. Okay, because 4C hair, now let me just say, when that 4C hair is balanced, and say if you are actually straightening it, you could go through it one time and it's silked. Okay, it is. Now let me just say this. Natural hair does has a coarseness look to it anyway. Okay, it does in its driest state. Okay, so now when you're looking at a curl pattern that's very wiry, all right, and it's not moisture balanced, then it would be difficult, because what you're having to do is stretch those strands of the 4C hair that is wiry. Okay, so now what's going to stretch that hair is if it is moisture balanced. That is what is allowing you to stretch that curl pattern. Okay, so now here's the thing. depending upon how what you want the end result to look like would depend on how you would style that 4C hair. So when it comes to that 4C hair, if you want a looser curl pattern because it's already tightly coiled, if you want a looser curl pattern, then what you're going to have to do then is manipulate the curl and stretch it out. So you basically would have to stretch out. You would have to apply a gel, not a gel with alcohol in it. There are definitely gels. There is a brand that I love. Is a braid and twist lock. And it's like a gel consistency, but it's firmer, almost like edge control. And when I tell you, I absolutely love that. So now using that, and then you would use just a little agent just to kind of hold it inside of that. So now that could be stretching that curl pattern and applying a foam wrap on your hair. Okay, or applying the foam wrap and then placing that lock gel on it, on that hair strand, on that twist, stretching that curl pattern out and allowing it to set like that. Okay. So basically it's a set that you're creating. It's not a wash and go. It's not that, because again, you're stretching that pattern. Now, if you are looking for a tighter curl pattern, then you could definitely apply the butters and the creams and kind of style it in the way that you want it to be. And then you can pretty much, use a diffuser to lock that in right there and pretty much go. But now again, if you are looking for more of an elongated wave or curl with that 4C hair, you're definitely going to have to stretch that curl pattern and allow it to dry like that. So using a diffuser is something that you would need to invest in, because that's going to help dry your hair in the consistency that you wanted it to set in. Okay. And so it's not the fact that 4C hair is hard to style. Get that 4C hair moisture balance to where then you can stretch your curl pattern and style it and manipulate it in the different styles that you wanting to use. Okay. But definitely understanding that you would definitely influence has it's called honey. It's a honey foam wrap that you can actually place on your hair. No alcohol in it whatsoever. And it's great for placing on your hair right behind you. You do first the leave-in conditioner, then the foam wrap, and then go from there with like a gel that has no alcohol in it. And then you could use that to manipulate, curl that hair, twist it up, and allow it to set. Okay. And so now this is one that, people just like buying product after they go through so much product, and they're like, okay, what can I buy to prevent shrinkage? Let me say, nothing. Nothing can prevent shrinkage. It's going to happen. And so my daughter, whose hair is longer, she truly has, I would say, a 4C hair. She has a 4C hair. And I never forget when she was at about 3 or 4, my mother was like, okay, what are you going to do with her hair? And I said, blow it out and straighten it, because that's when, we had just started the era of that. And so, and she was just like, oh, because again, she had that 4C hair, which can be, and it can look very intimidating, especially when you're not familiar with handling that texture of hair. Okay. But again, there's nothing you can do to prevent the hair from shrinking. It's going to happen. So, my daughter's like, Mom, I don't want my hair to be short. I want to shampoo my hair and it just flows and it's just longer. And, why is it up here? I said, well, baby, your hair is not up here. You have to stretch. Or when I go to stretch her hair for her to see her length, she's like, but why do you have to pull it? You have to stretch it. Well, that's where the length is at. You have this springy, coily hair here. And so, I mean, it's going to shrink. There's nothing that you can do to prevent their hair from shrinking. But now there are products that are heavy in the consistency of it and the moisture in it, that when you apply it on the hair and you comb it through, it will weigh that hair down. So you see a little bit more of the length there where you can stretch it. Okay. But now, can something that just prevent the hair from shrinking? If it's not a chemical, it won't. Okay. So just so that way you will understand that nothing will prevent that hair from shrinking whatsoever. Okay, so now this is something that I actually see in the salons. Okay, and you know, clients that come in and start talking about, we're marrying them, we're using over there, and you know, Christina Tasha them over, you know, they have called me, they've been rocking this, they know they're veterans in it, I trust them, all of this that I hear. And then they are, you know, they go out, they purchase these products, and it's like, okay, no, it's not looking the same. What is going on? And and I'm looking at that. I allow them to go ahead and finish because I already know what the issue is. So I allow them to go ahead and finish. And so I am just like, okay, you're using the same products, absolutely. All of that's the same. Your porosity is different. And they're like, what? Yes, your porosity. Okay, so now let's talk about that because that can be the most confusing thing in the absolute world when you start talking about porosity. What is that? And so I am a very visual person. And so to give you a visual idea on what that is, very simple, because some people say, well, you know, you put a little strand of hair in the water and if it floats as is, okay, so let me just say this. When you are applying, because porosity can be different on your hair. Okay, so just understand that. So, you know, you can't just take one strand out and say, okay, this is consistent to what my entire head is doing. But now let me say this. If you are applying product on and it's sitting on top of your hair where you see it, and then what is going on at that point in time is that strand is coated with a wax where no moisture is getting in that. Okay. And so now, we have been programmed to stay away from products that deep cleanses the hair. But let me just say, when you're using different, and let me just say this, when it comes to products and how they are formulated, they do have certain ingredients in those products that has a wax coating that will help your hair to stay set in a different manner, okay, in a certain manner. So for that reason, then you must, even if it is once every 2 weeks, okay, you must cleanse that hair and detox that hair, okay, of any heavy waxes that you may have on your hair strand that is preventing the moisture from coming in. Because just because you are applying it on your hair does not mean that it's been absorbed into that cuticle area. Okay, so now again, when you're placing product on your hair and it's just sitting on top of your hair, then at that point your hair has low porosity, and so it is no moisture is getting into that. And what shows a definition of the curl pattern is moisture. That is key. But now let's talk about the leading question up to this one is there a such thing as too much moisture? All right, now, oh, we cooking with some fish grease. I'm here to tell you. Now, because when it comes to natural hair, you know, we know, we know that you must have moisture on in the hair. You must have moisture in the hair. You know, so we think I could pack it on. You know, I mean, if my hair need moisturized, my scalp is dry, my hair, oh, let me just pack it on. Let me just put it in. Boy, let me say this to you. There is a such thing as too much moisture. Mm, mm, mm. I'm pretty sure you know that. You didn't. There is a such thing as too much moisture. So let me say this. I had clients that would come in and fight me about getting a protein. And what I explained to them is that protein not only strengthens the hair, but also it assists in that moisture balance. Okay, just stay right there with me. So now, if you use, you would think that, okay, it's a protein, it strengthens my hair. So I can use, if I can use a lot of that. I want my hair to be strong. If you use too much protein, it will break the hair. It will. Okay. It dries the hair out. It has the hair hard. And when you're combing through it and manipulating it, it will break. But now also too, using too much moisture is called hydro fatigue. Hydro fatigue. Yes. There is a thing such as too much moisture in the hair. What it does is the moisture, the hair strand can hold but so much moisture. And so, we feel like, well, let me just pack it on, let me put it on, the hair. So now when you apply moisture in that water that's in that product, it goes into the hair strand and it expands that hair strand to get that moisture in, as long as there's no coating or wax on the hair strand. So now when you start packing that moisture on, too much moisture on the hair, it swells, deswells. It has the hair feeling mushy. It's mushy, it's not strong. You don't feel no strength in it. That type of hair is easy to break as well. It again is called hydro fatigue. Okay. So we have to watch the moisture that we are applying on our hair. It has to be a balance. And so again, if you think that you may have that, you want to go ahead. If you have not had a protein treatment, go ahead and get one. Then you want to put time in between you applying moisture into that hair, because what you're going to have to do is allow it time to get rebalanced. Okay, it must be rebalanced. That's the only thing that is going to help get the strength back into that hair from that hydro fatigue state where you have too much moisture and the hair is mushy and there's no strength in it. It won't hold a style. And so that could be one of the frustrations as well when it comes to styling natural hair, and you applying too much moisture. Now you got hydro fatigue and you're wondering, okay, I'm applying moisture, I'm doing everything. Why is my hair behaving like this? Throwing a whole tantrum, and it will. Okay, it will let you know what it does not like. I tell my clients that all the time. You better listen to it. I'm hearing it. I'm listening. And then I'm like, okay, no, this is not what we're going to do. This is the strategy that we need to do right here. Because again, I'm looking at what you've been using on your hair, and this is the results. But this is why this has happened. And this must be what we need to do to go forward. And again, if you had not started with the protein, had not had one in a couple of months, go ahead and start with that. And start eliminating as how many times per week you applying moisture into your hair and allowing it to get rebalanced and re-strengthened. Okay. And so now when it comes to natural hair, again, we want the look, we want it to be healthy, but there are strategies in place that you have to do to ensure that happens. Okay. And again, it's making sure that their hair is balanced. Making sure that this is something that you are wanting to do, and you are not sitting back waiting for somebody to tell you that it looks good. You're not, you have to be confident and comfortable in walking out and being, even if it's, because this could be very different from you. So you have to be comfortable in walking that out and being different and embracing it yourself. And that is what radiates out, and what people are like, oh, wow, oh, okay, I like the confidence. Her shoulders are upright. She's walking and she's looking and all. Yeah, that is what people are prone and drawn to. And they are loving that. That's the energy that they're going to get from that. And again, the questions that you have pertaining to your natural hair, do let me know. You can email those to me at morel@morellocane.com. You can email those to me, or you could DM me. Definitely follow us on Instagram. We are there. We're on all social media platforms, so definitely follow us. But this series I'm truly excited about, because next week we will have a guest on, and she is going to talk about her hair care journey. And she will also be talking about how she is rocking that thing in the corporate world. Okay, in the corporate world, and that's all she does. I can't think of the last time that she has had her hair straightened. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about her journey and her walking away from the relaxer, to having to embrace her natural hair. But then, of course, she had to go through the same thing, and walking out from the relaxer to getting her hair balanced, to where it is today. And it is absolutely beautiful. And you guys are going to meet her and talk to her next week. Okay. Well, no, actually, that would be on February 1st. Okay. That would be the first Monday. We will be back with you. Definitely stay tuned. Definitely stay plugged into the hair debate. Share this with other individuals that are natural, that you know of, that's trying to embrace this whole movement and this whole transition that they are walking through. But they may have questions, and here are the answers. Again, my name is Morel Kane. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with me today. Again, we will connect again on February 1st, Monday at 7 p.m. I will see you then. The Hair Debate. This is the platform where we debunk, debate, and discover all things hair. Stay tuned.